Hey everyone, welcome to an episode of WTF. I'm Will.
I'm Trevor.
And we liked him so goddamn much, we brought him back for another review. Bradford! There he is.
What's going on?
Today we are reviewing the movie Joker.
Yes.
Starring Joaquin Phoenix and directed by Todd Phillips.
Yeah.
How would you describe what this movie's about?
This is a bizarre movie to describe. Truly. I mean, obviously, it's essentially the origin story of the Batman supervillain, the Joker.
I think that could be one way you look at it.
Exactly.
For sure, yeah.
But it's more of a story of a man pushed to the brink who's clearly suffering from mental illness and is watching the slow decline from semi-being normal to complete insanity.
Yes, I have to agree. I think this movie could have even been done without any Batman or Joker reference.
Yeah.
And that's what makes the movie so good, in my opinion.
Yes.
Go ahead,
I agree.
Well, I think that Todd Phillips, he said, I'm going to sneak a real movie in here under the guise of a comic book movie. And a lot of people seem to be taking that in a negative light, but I think I kind of see where he's getting at there.
Well, he came out and openly said that his origin story, has nothing to do from any comics. He's not taking anything. This is his imagining how he felt the Joker would have come to have been.
And first of all, I have to just say, after you watch a movie like The Dark Knight, and you see Heath Ledger with Chris Nolan, and you think nobody could fucking do a better job of being the Joker. So you have to give Todd Phillips and Joaquin Phoenix credit for having balls the size of watermelons. Because, you gotta have balls to just be like, yeah, you know what, I think we're gonna take another shot at this.
Yeah.
Who would think that would be something you'd want to do?
I don't know, the director of Suicide Squad, maybe?
But it just, honestly, after I watched The Dark Knight, for me, The Dark Knight is probably one of the best superhero movies I've ever seen. And I don't know if there's ever going to be a better one. Personally, for me, because it's got the unbelievable characters, character-driven film with all the action, and it just, the way that, the whole thing, Chris Nolan's just he's a god in my mind for filmmaking, so.
And Heath Ledger put on, obviously, the performance of his life.
Yeah, and Joaquin Phoenix, he's been in other fantastic movies. I think he's a fantastic actor as well. But it's funny, I've always liked him. He was in a movie a long, long time ago called Return to Paradise with Vince Vaughn, where he played a guy who's captive. And I thought he was phenomenal in that. I saw, I think, shades of almost a little bit of this character in there because he was kind of trapped in whatever he was trapped in. Obviously, he's so skinny in this movie. It's creepy.
60 pounds.
Yeah,
insane.
And some of the shots coming in from the backside, he's got some weird thing going on with his left shoulder. It was creepy. It was one of those movies I watched. And even after I finished watching it, I wasn't even sure of what I had just watched. And it kind of, it resonated with me, and I had to sleep on it, and then I thought about the next day about what I thought of the movie. That's kind of the impact it had on me. But it's not like a movie I want to see a whole bunch of times over and over and over again.
Well, that's it. It's not
it's not a fun movie. This is obviously a character-driven piece, and that's what makes the movie so good, is the fact that Joaquin Phoenix is so good in this movie. And I loved the fact that you're going along this ride with him, and you feel bad for him. He's not like somebody you want to be friends with, but you feel bad for him. He's trying to be a comedian, and you know that's going to go so badly. But just when he goes to step up on stage to do the performance, and you're just like, oh, this is going to be so bad.
It's not going to go well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just it was kind of hard to watch some of that stuff.
This Joker he's very reactive in the movie. He doesn't really plan anything.
But I think this is only the beginning too.
Well, yeah, because it is an origin. But we're so used to, even good Joker stories, they always portray the Joker as the smartest guy in the room. He can read anybody. He's in control of everything. Yeah. This Joker is very different in that he seems very impulsive and kind of pathetic.
But it was kind of nice to see him as a loner, no friends, nobody liked him. At the end, basically everyone rooting and cheering, the whole crowd, pulling him out, and he's dancing in the car. Yeah. Everyone's like, "This is the man."
And it's funny too that he is going to be the leader of the kind of the poor and the downtrodden. Yeah. In contrast to Batman. Can we talk about the Batman origin at the end of this movie?
Well, that's the good thing about this film too, how it touched lightly on all of these different things that actually have to do with the whole Batman thing. And it was done in a way that didn't sort of interfere with any of the other storylines too, which was kind of cool.
Well, it's also funny because this character is such an unreliable narrator. You don't know what you're watching, if it actually happened or if it's
Correct.
real.
Yeah.
There's a certain
If
point.
it was just all in his mind.
Yeah.
So if you were to compare the 4 different Jokers that we know of.
Well, Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
Caesar Romero from the TV show.
Okay, well,
Maybe let's not do that. Okay.
We're not doing that.
Jared Leto.
That's what I was thinking of, like the more recent ones.
Jared Leto.
I know, and I was thinking, are you saying, how do they compare?
Like said.
Yeah, like which ones do you think are the best, or?
Well, it's weird because 4 different Jokers were in 4 very different types of films.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, performance. Heath Ledger was. I had nothing bad to say.
No.
And Joaquin Phoenix, I was not expecting what I saw. It was unbelievable. And mark my words, I would say he's 98% going to win the Oscar.
Not like 96%. I think he'll be nominated. I'm not sure. We haven't seen all the performances yet.
He was. Anyways.
Yeah, he's great.
Because this is such a different type of movie, and there's no Batman. I feel like it almost.
Batman was in this.
But there was no. But I almost feel like that Joaquin Phoenix was better Joker, but for different reasons.
Yeah. I agree. I understand what you're saying.
It's hard.
Heath Ledger is the one for me. I don't think anybody will beat that. Whatever that was, it was.
Heath Ledger was great, but he didn't play the psychopath that Joaquin Phoenix.
Of course, it's a different play on it for sure.
Exactly.
They're all good performances.
Yeah.
I just was curious as to what you thought was the best.
And I said, those 2 are hard to.
Yeah. All right. So you want to rate this movie?
Yeah. So we'll rate the movie.
What do you want to rate it out of?
I don't just do Jokers.
Jokers?
Jack Nicholson Jokers?
Nicholson Jokers.
I don't know.
Joker masks? I don't know what.
Yeah, we do
Joker masks.
So we're going to rate this on Joker masks. I'm going to go last this time.
Okay. I'll go first.
All right.
This film was phenomenal. It truly was. I loved it I was disturbed, enjoyed, blown away by the performance. I give it a 9.5 out of 10. It was outstanding.
Now, what is it that would have bumped it to a 10? Like, what's that
Tits.
I think it's really ambitious for what it is. And when you think about where comic book movies are now, where you go and you see a Marvel movie, and as good as those movies may be, you kind of know what you're getting.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And I'll take...
This is not a cookie cutter movie.
No, and that's part of why I love it so much. Because it is something different. And Todd Phillips went up to WB and was like, I want to make a weird movie. I want to make Taxi Driver with the Joker. And they let him do it. And I want more movies like this, even if they're not perfect. I got to give it a 7 out of 10.
All right. Well, I thought you were going to go a little higher than that.
Yeah,
I did too, to be honest.
So, I sorry, what did you say?
7 out of 10.
7 out of 10, yeah. Well, I actually had thought about this beforehand, and I'm going to give it 7.5 out of 10. And it's one of those things too, where I do think it's a really good movie, but it's just so disturbing. It's like that's like for me.
That was the whole demo. That was the point.
No, I get it, but there are some movies that are extremely disturbing. It's not like it's like. To me, like in a couple of years from now, this movie's going to be remembered the fact that Joaquin Phoenix did an unbelievable performance in this movie. That's what it's going to be remembered for. Yeah. It's not going to be remembered for this was the greatest movie of 2019, in my personal opinion. That's sort of how I see it. So it's a good movie. It's just not the best movie I've ever seen, but it's I love it. I love it for that.
I do want to say something on a complete side note that mental health is no joke, and if you're suffering from depression, sadness, thoughts of suicide, anything like that, reach out to friends, family, their phone numbers.
Don't dress up like a clown and kill
murder people. Yes, yeah. No, in all seriousness, for sure. Yes.
Yeah, mental health is no joke. Yeah. Don't be afraid to talk. Well, everyone, thanks again for coming out and watching another episode of WTF, and we'll see you next